Okay, now today I want to talk about what Memorial Day means to me. A lot of different things mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. What does Memorial Day mean to me? Well, I'm going to take you back to 1997 to 98 school year. I was a sophomore in high school. I took carpentry. Now, we had majors when I was in high school, like hardcore majors. It wasn't like, look, mom, what I did. No, we had hardcore majors, okay? The girls that took cosmetology got a beautician's license when they graduated. Okay, so we had really hardcore into the stuff. And everybody learns a trade. You had mandatory learning. Now, I took carpentry. Now, the carpentry room I was in, what we did was we switched rooms at the half point of the year. You'd go into one room, they'd go to the other. We had two carpentry rooms. One room had a lot of machinery in it. The other room had a lot of open space in it. The open space was necessary because January of your junior year, you started building a miniature house. And then maybe early senior year, you took it down. Now, we had the machines gathered a lot of sawdust. And there was a ventilation system, ductwork and shit, where the sawdust would gather and would go through a piping system and would come out into a garbage can. Now, both rooms, each room had its own vent and garbage can, but both vents ended up in the same place. Room 211, which was the big open space room where the seniors were from September to January of their senior year. And yeah, and the vent got clogged at the bottom and they needed someone to unclog it. I'm always someone. Every time you hear the word someone is needed, get out your autograph book because I'm coming, okay? So they had to get me there. And what happened was the duct went down to a giant garbage can, had to move the garbage can out of the way, get on my knees and put a friggin' broomstick on this thing. And the senior class is in there and they're taking down their house. And this big fucking black guy comes to me. He's like, you're gonna die, man. You're gonna die. I mean, so then, and all the fucking seniors, half of them are making fun of me, half of them are starting to respect me because I'm doing all the dirty shit. And the big black guy, he gets a splinter, and he's trying to take the splinter out, and someone else, Courtney's got a splinter. He's like, yeah, I got it out. And I'm like, I misheard. I thought they said Corky. I thought it was his nickname, Corky. But no, it was Courtney. And the next time I heard his name, by the way, I got the fucking vent clear. The next time I heard his name, I said, who the fuck names a boy Courtney? What the fuck kind of name is that? Anyway, later in the year, in my room, I got someone was needed again. And we had a back room where we have cabinets, supplies, tools, painting, staining equipment. Paint and stains rather. And there was a wall in there with a vented wall, and there were these sheets of styrofoam rubber that were covered in dust. Had to be shaken out. Here's what I got a cursory map here, a real piece of shit map. If I had the computer drafting program, you'd get this better, but yeah. My skills suck sometimes. Okay. This is, if you can see it, this is a bullshit bootleg drawing of a school. Now, if you look, if I can adjust in or out. Can I do this? Okay. Now, you look at this, I'm gonna sit over here for a minute, hold on. I'm gonna come up close if I can. This is a school hallway. Look at the square down here. Around, you know how you have a typical school where you go around in circles, you walk around all the classrooms are here. Or off to the side, there's one giant circle you just walk around. Okay? Well, we had that, but the back of the school, if you go, this is a bird's eye view. If you go into the back, here are 3 math classrooms, here are 3 history classrooms, staircase and staircase. This leads to a staircase that goes down to the first floor, and this here is the annex where the welding shop was one welding room, because welding was a minor that everyone in auto, heating, and carpentry had to take. They had 2 heating rooms and 2 carpentry rooms. And this annex ran perpendicular to the rest of the rooms. The rest of the area. Let that ring. Anyway, out here is a door that leads outside, and this lined area is grass for a sloping hill, and there's a window here. And these are where all the rooms are. So anyway, our carpentry class, we had to walk out, go down the hall, go down the sloping hill, and shake off all the shit. Okay? So, yeah. Now, Courtney is standing outside of the 211 rooms. The carpentry rooms were here and here. The 211 room was the last one before you got out the door, and 212 was next to it. It's the side door, you can walk out to the teacher's parking lot. And Courtney is making a design on the wall on his classroom's door. They're cutting up cubes and they're gluing them together, making a nice design that says carpentry with the big S for our school. And he sees me coming by, and I got a tank top on and a weight belt. I'm covered in fucking dust. Other guy from my class, Bubba, big black guy, Bubba, my class is with me. And Courtney's just fucking, he's dying. He can't fucking get over there. Always got me doing this shit. So I come back in from shaking off down the hill, come back in the side door, and of course, like, you lost one, go back out. So I ran back out, and he's got his head out the window, laughing at me. And I go back inside, and the fashion design juniors, I was a sophomore, my friend Bubba was a sophomore, Courtney's a senior. The fashion juniors, accompanied by a girl that I had a crush on, I used to pick on her, I had a crush on her. They're coming around selling raffle tickets, and they don't want to go near me because I smell like a piece of shit. And they all go over and they start cuddling with Courtney, and they're hugging him, and they're big fucking black guys are hugging his chest, oh baby. And I'm like, I'm covered in fucking dust here. I bought a raffle ticket for them the next day or some shit. But that's worse. After I did this, I stayed after school because one of the science rooms had graffiti on the desk, and the desks were being painted for extra credit. And I'm staying after school for 2 hours. I smelled like such a... You could smell me from down the fucking hall. And then Court graduated. Now, as Court is leaving school, me and a couple of guys in English class. Now, our English teacher was fucking boom. His fucking head was somewhere else, and we're just during this time we're just doing a bullshit that we always do in school. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, really. Someone said Courtney's going to the Navy, and this black guy, another black guy, I saw him. My father was in the hospital, and I saw him at an Applebee's when I went to visit my father in the hospital in 2013, in the last year. Now this guy's like, Courtney, he dumb soft. Now when I was in high school, I spoke fluent Ebonics. Yeah, I went to one of the best high schools in the country, but I spoke fluent Ebonics. How about that? Now when someone says you're dumb soft, the dumb is another word is Ebonics for very. You're very soft. Courtney was a nice guy, but a lot of people that knew him better than I did thought that he was a pushover, he was a wimp, he didn't have the nerve to stand up. Like he was not the type of a guy to be fierce or mean. Yeah. So like he's gonna go to the Navy. Well, it ended up being the Army. But what happened was Court graduated, he was 17 years old. His mother signed permission for him to go to the Army at 17 as opposed to being to 18. He went through basic training. Now, fast forward a year later, I'm a sophomore. I'm a junior now. and Corey's graduate of the year, and he came back to visit, and we all came back. I went back to visit. We went back to visit. He's back visiting in his army uniform. He's in semi-casual. He's not in his fatigue, and he's not in his full dress, but he's in casual dress with the khakis and the button shirt. And I said hello to him a few times. I saw him out the hall, and I'm running an errand somewhere on the 3rd floor, and we're walking around, and he's passing by the library, and I'm walking one way, he's walking another way. And I said, take care, Corsi, bye. And then I remember distinctly looking back and seeing him walk down the hall away from me. And that was the last time I saw him. And I was always wondering about where he was, what he was doing. Well, a friend of mine, Jason, who was in my carpentry class also, had some kids with his cousin. And I'm on, fast forward to September 10th, 2007. And I'm at my computer doing some work, and I'm on AOL, and Jason sends me an instant message. And he says, you remember Court? I said, of course I remember Court. How would I get it? He's dead. I said, what? Yeah, he's dead. And I said, what happened? And he said he was in Iraq, in Baghdad, and he was blown up. I was like, oh my God. And I ran into the room, my bedroom, I turned on the news. And at first I didn't recognize, like, that. I thought he was in the Marine Corps. Oh, it was Army. Okay, it was Army, not Marine Corps, I'm sorry. And his mother came on, and his mother said she talked to him on the phone 3 weeks earlier, which is very, very hard because you don't have a lot of time to make a phone call when you're overseas. And she knew there was something wrong with him. She said, what's wrong with you? And he said, things are worse than ever. They're more dangerous than ever. They're more fanatical than ever. Some of his men have been killed. He was now a staff sergeant, which is a non-commissioned officer. And 3 weeks after that, September 9th, 2007, he was killed when a roadside bomb exploded. He was ambushed. He was ambushed by insurgents in his Humvee, and he had several men with him. And one story is that the Humvee rolled over a bomb and it caught him, but the other story is that someone actually threw an explosive device at him and it blew him up. And then we find out what he's been doing the past couple of years. In 2002, he went to Afghanistan when the United States at September 11th was interested in routing the Taliban, routing Al-Qaeda in the areas of Afghanistan. In March of 2003, he invaded Baghdad to overthrow Saddam Hussein. And at the end of 2006, he was married. He married a white woman. She was a former soldier too. He married a woman, and she had a kid from a previous relationship, and they wanted to have kids together. And his unit was called up. They said, you're going to be going out with the troop surge in February of 2007. But because you're newly married, you are exempt from duty. And he refused. He said, no, I'm going to go with my men. And he, having gone overseas at least twice before, once to Afghanistan, once to Iraq, having invaded Baghdad and overthrowing Saddam Hussein, he knew exactly what was going on over there. This was not some stupid 18-year-old kid that had been brainwashed by a recruiter into thinking he's going to be on a Pacific Island for a few years and get free college. No, he knew exactly what he was talking about. And he said, no, I'm going to go with my men. And he refused any special treatment. And he went over. And he saw that things were worse than they were before, worse than he remembered. And he was killed. And when he was killed, when I heard that whole story, I thought back to the conversation I had in English class with the guy Jared and the guy Khalid. He's soft. Because we always had these tough guys in high school, these big mean guys that wanted to beat the shit out of you, and so tough, fucking hardcore, you know, shake their balls, bang their chest guys. And they're like, Courtney's soft. He can't measure up to us. And I thought back to every thug, every tough guy, every guy I ever knew, every guy I went to high school with, every guy that used to beat the shit out of people, and guys used to fight, and guys were just brawlers. And I said to myself, I said, he was the bravest man I ever know. You know, we mistook him for a lesser man. And he showed us different. And here's what I think about when I think about Memorial Day now. When we have Memorial Day, a lot of guys want to have barbecues, they want to get drunk, they want to go shopping, they want to have a day off from work. I get a day off from work too. And sit home, watch TV. And these past 2007, 2008, 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is going on 7 Memorial Days now. I just sit home and think about him. He was 26 years old, and yet, of all the guys who went to school, all the guys that banged their chest and shook their balls and held their fist above their head and all this other bullshit, when you look at our hometown now, out of all of us, he's the one with a street named after him. He's the only guy I went to high school that has a street named after him. And I'm going to put in the link down below, I'm going to put a video. I don't know who made the video. Someone else made the video. But I'm going to put a video down below. And I show this video to Dakota Meyer. Yes, that Dakota Meyer. And it's a video, simply, you know, some pictures of him and some memories of his life. I think this is the most emotional video I ever did. Okay, guys, I'm gonna take care.